behind the lines on coronavirus. An accountant contacted me overnight and they said, Des, your briefings this week have been rather somber and not as humorous as usual. I'm going to try and make this session a little bit lighter, but I suppose it's the times that we live in. This is how it is. I'm a huge advocate of not working Saturdays and weekends. I'm a huge advocate of building a business that supports you, supports your life, and gives you the freedom and flexibility to spend the time on the more important things. So why am I coming to you live on a Saturday? Well, this is like wartime. This is time to get into the trenches, roll up our sleeves and get things done. So I've actually spent a very enjoyable Saturday morning because I had a one-to-one Zoom with one of our Profit Pro Thrive members. And in all the negativity, the session was really interesting because it was extremely positive. Yeah, we dealt with the issues. We acknowledged the problems. We acknowledged what's going to happen in the next 6 months. But now is time to cut the bullshit and get down to the reality, to get down to simplification. Some of the things that we talked about here behind me are simplification, subscription revolution. But what we actually talked about with Johnny was normality. And what we talked about was the normality that we know and are familiar with right now is changing and shifting, and there's going to be a new normal. And, I suppose one way of looking at what's happening here now is something that's been happening since the beginning of time. And that's evolution. The evolution of the species. The requirement to innovate, change and evolve. And myself and Johnny had a very interesting conversation about dentists and coronavirus and how, the dental industry is decimated during this time. And Johnny made this comment. He said, well, Des, you never know. The new normal could be that in the future, when you go into your dentist, or even in the short term, that they're sitting there in a hazmask, and that just becomes the new normal. And we got into talking about how things have changed and evolved. So yeah, we have current issues. Yeah, we have short-term issues. But what about taking a longer view here on the innovation of the profession, the innovation of society, the evolution of economics? You've heard it said so many times over the last week, this too shall pass. But when this passes, will it be the same as before, or is it going to be different? I think it's going to be different. Johnny and myself, we spent 4 hours together, obviously over Zoom, but during that time we looked at the current issues, the current challenges, and then we looked at how is Johnny going to evolve his business, and how is he going to be ready at a point in the future when the new normal becomes the normal. So maybe something for you to think about this weekend is, what is the new normal going to look like for your business? And what is the new normal going to look like for your customers' businesses? And how can you deal with the current issues, but use this time to also innovate and evolve? Thanks for joining me here. Until I see you again, let's get it done. Keep safe. This is not going to beat us. We're coming out fighting.